I'm just gonna get one of these for the road.
Fish of every size and shape. Fish of every size and shape.
It's hard to stop, you know, once you get a few. I think I already looked at all of these. Do I need to do a synopsis for people? I think mostly everybody... Well, maybe not everybody, but a lot of the people that are here now were here yesterday. So the very quick story recap is we're on an island looking for our husband, and our husband came to this island on an expedition to try and cure our disease. We have some kind of spots on our hands, and we're not really sure what that is. And so the husband came here looking for a way to cure that. He seemed to have a lead on. For some reason, there's this black goop here. And the black goop seems to be connected with otherworldly powers. We put it on a lens, and we were able to look through a telescope with the black goop on the lens and see like another cosmic dimension. Then we found this basalt column structure, which was made up to be an organ. We played a bunch of notes on that, and we like summoned an elder god. And so we kind of just have been delving deeper in the island to try and uncover the mysteries and see if our husband is still alive. In the midst of that, we've also been getting flashbacks, flash forwards, hallucinations, let's call them that, that were a mermaid. And one time I got teleported to like a Doom level. It's like a desert filled with giant skeletons that look like Doom 2016 with like dead Hell Knights everywhere. It was very interesting. So now we're investigating this like Aztec-looking temple with fish of every size and shape. Hi, Jonas. Thanks for coming by. Happy nearly Christmas to you. Oh, have a nice Christmas sauna. Very good. Well, see you around, Ula. So fish of every size and shape.
Size and shape.
It's nice. So what's this one?
Now he's some sort of man-fish?
Now he's a man-fish. So you start with fish of every size and shape, then he's a man-fish. Now... Still a man-fish.
Look at those spots. They look like mine.
Spots like mine. Am I becoming a man-fish?
His hands are changing, like in my dream.
Oh, yep. See? Got the fin hands now. Not like the Finnish. And the Finnish have hands like anybody else. In Denmark, we celebrate Christmas on the 24th, so it's Christmas, so thank you. Oh, very nice. I actually didn't know that.
Are they bathing him?
Well, Merry Christmas.
In black ooze.
Did you summon an elder god? I fell asleep at the end of the organ. Yeah, something like that. We raised up like a series of pillars, and then we went out to an island and opened the way forward up the mountain. So then we climbed the mountain, and now we're... we had to solve some more electricity power puzzles, and then we opened up a door to get into this temple. And this is my first time looking around here. Okay, I thought maybe I could climb up there, but there's a missing hunk of ladder.
A hole in the wall, probably caused by the rock slide. That must be the spot where they entered the temple.
You know, I forgot to ask this yesterday, but the clacking of the keys on the keyboard isn't annoying, right? It doesn't hopefully come up in the mic. It's quite hard to avoid making sound with them. It's a membrane keyboard, so like it kind of creaks when you press the keys down. I'm used to the mechanical switches where you can kind of like actuate them very subtly. And with the silver switches, they don't really have like a click point. They just kind of go down and actuate silently. It's really nice having the silver ones. Hasn't really been noticeable. Okay, good. Because like I haven't listened back to the VOD, and I worry sometimes that like I've done something really bad audio-wise and I didn't notice it for the whole stream. You can't hear it either? Okay, good. I'm trying to be quiet, but it's hard to keep track of it when I've got my ear covered on one side and then I'm talking, so I can't really listen. So why am I back out here? Am I supposed to be doing something with that ladder? This isn't how I expected this to proceed, actually. Or was there another path inside of the temple I missed? I didn't think we'd be going back out. I think I just turned back around and walked the other way. I'll be digging into the VODs, missed the first bit. No worries. It was only the one VOD. Played about 4.5, 5 hours or something yesterday. Alright, so fish of every size and shape, and then... right. I literally ended the stream looking at this light column, and I was like, oh, that's a lovely light. Let's walk the other way. I just forgot my orientation. Sorry about that.
She sounds worried for him, I think.
Harry's been up there for 3 days now, and he isn't responding. Oh yeah, Frank died, by the way. What did he find if I could go up? I think we're going up.
These patterns look too familiar.
I guess. Don't really know why you'd say that. I guess the, common patterns that she's associating with her spots on her hands?
This looks like the same kind of elevator that was in the campsite.
Yeah, look at the size and shape of those fish. Mola fish. It's like a half a fish. Okay, what's this? Elevator!
Where is this taking me?
If only I could go up. Oh. Well, those ridges just clipped right through. Oh, more posters.
Looks like I'm inside the giant
murals.
fish head that I saw from below.
Turns out we can go up. Oh, another task. Your time starts now. You didn't give me a task. Oh.
Nora, I wish I could write something else. But a long time ago, I promised you I would never lie to you. So here goes. There is no cure for your illness. What you carry in your blood is changing you, and it will keep changing you until it's done. Whatever that means. There is nothing we can do to stop it. My dear old pal, my partner, the love of my life, I am so sorry. I've made so many mistakes. All those deaths because of me. Frank, DeWitt, Roy. All for nothing. Maybe Teodoro is right. Maybe we can return to the beach and build a raft to get back to Papiete. Maybe in less than a month, I could be back.
What?
There's no cure?
He just teleported away and his pen fell over?
Finish the letter. What did you do, Harry? Where are you? I know for sure that you didn't go back home, so what? What do I do now? Are you still on the island? I have to find you.
It's weird how she keeps calling her husband, and, well, the two of them call each other, like, my old buddy and my pal and stuff. It's like, it's such a general term for someone that you're so intimate with. Maybe that's just me, though.
This one was easy, I think.
Transformation. Evolution. I don't really know what we're looking at there. Oh, we're probably associating these sigils.
Someone punched the wall so hard that they bled.
Wow.
Was it you, Harry?
Look at the knuckle spacing. It's so big. That's like... That's not like a human hand to be that size, right? Oh, Knuckles the enchiladas on this island. Okay, let's see. Maybe we'll find them.
God's blood. Does this mean that... Is this related to me somehow, to my disease?
You have the god's blood. And so you're going to be a mermaid? An eternally living mermaid?
So that's how you mark the symbol's orientation.
Oh. Okay, I'm not sure I understand yet, but... So there's a rotating wheel. Rotating the north in the wheel causes the symbol to change quadrant.
I'm starting to
Eternal
understand this
Frostlight.
language.
Okay, so we're meant to combine these sigils into phrases, I guess.
This
Eternal,
one was
forever,
really hard
infinity.
to figure out. Good job, Harry. Well done, Harry. Boy, am I lucky that you did the hard part of figuring things out.
Word A plus word B equals new word. Their language works by combining different symbols to create a new one. Ideograms. Yeah, I mean, language does tend to work a lot like that, but we usually don't always use pictures unless you count letters as pictures. And you might.
John McCormack's dear old pal of mine?
Oh.
Favorite song.
That's why they say that. Okay, I should probably turn that off now. That's enough out of you. I do love Taskmaster. I really want a version with random people who are not comedians and a bit more competitive. I think the Taskmaster concept is still quite young. I have a feeling that eventually others will try their take on it.
I've seen this symbol in the murals several times. I guess it can be applied to both water and black ooze.
Mm-hmm. Song itself is probably public domain, specific recording might not be. I've also gotten claim for public domain stuff before, even though it's not meant to be. Some people will put public domain stuff into the Content ID system and claim it as if they own it, when they obviously don't. I've actually seen people say before, like, if you stream games at all, you should just always turn off all music. But that's such a sad state of affairs that that's what it should be reduced to. Like, it's a large portion of the presentation just reduced to nothing.
Harry marked this symbol for a reason. I'd better write it down.
Well, water animal is arc line with pointed top.
A complex pattern.
I hope I'm not stuck on this one for a minute. I'm a little baffled about what I'm meant to be doing so far, but keep clicking on stuff.
It's amazing how words and symbols can keep their meaning after thousands of years.
Yeah, because we keep wanting to read them. It's not like they keep their meaning, it's that we keep trying to access their meaning. So we ascribe meaning. Okay, so where do I assume the quadrant? I don't know what anything corresponds to yet. Can I click on this? No. We're really filling up that freaking journal, aren't we? Strange symbols in the empty pool. Rotating north, yeah, I saw that. Lights on. Transformation, liquid. Life, eternal. Combining symbols creates words. What's the actual puzzle, though? Is it just to sort each one of these quadrants out? And, like, it goes on the intersection between them, not on the actual symbol? And then what do you do with the missing ones? And then what do these have to do? I don't know what I'm selecting. This one doesn't rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 3, but it's different rotation. That one only has 1. That has none. I thought maybe it was like each one of these is a different... Oh no, that's 2. I just didn't see the other side. Okay, let's figure out what the numbers mean when they're sorted the way they are. So if it has a... No, I don't know if that matters, because then we can rotate this around it, so the position might not count. We've got symbols... Oh, okay, this is the liquid designation. Sure. So what do we need? The liquid needs to be... I don't know what they correspond to. Strange symbol in the empty pool. It's got the line across with the slash in the middle. Yeah, this all just matches. God's blood. Should it be at the top? I don't know if it's selected at the top. Does that go to the left? Destined inevitable transformation. Rotating the north of the wheel causes the symbol to change quadrant. Yeah, this is telling me what I need to know here. So in a way, all this is doing, like the fact that the point is rotating around it instead of the wheel in the center rotating, it's just obfuscating the puzzle slightly. Man, good thing for this journal. I can see myself being quite stuck here. Yeah, so this is just a pictorial representation of just like, what if the wheel in the center turned instead of the plumb bob goes around the outside? So this is the bottom symbol of the 4. I don't know what that has to do with it, though. I think we want 1, 3. Which is... I think that's how I've said it. Maybe. What's this one? I might just be able to solve this without fully understanding it. Sometimes I can do that. Transformation. So that's the bottom right quadrant for transformation. Do I want 2 and 4 for that then? All I have is 2. Maybe that's already done. I don't really understand this still. Water animal. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. This is corner arc. That's life. Oops. This is right stripe is eternal. I feel like if I just click this a couple times, I'll just win? No? Yeah, I don't think I understand what the hell I'm doing at all. Transformation to evolution. I looked at all this already, I just maybe need to get a new angle on it. Oh, I think this is the key here. I think they're actually giving me one, like 2 of them directly, and then these 2 are implied. God's blood, destined inevitable transformation. Destined inevitable oh, that's just 2. Yeah. Okay, those are just associated water animal. Okay, this is just how he drew that conclusion. Okay, so we didn't actually learn more than that. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I saw all of these already. I think this is everything. Like, I get that they want me to merge the symbols, but then once I've merged them, I'm not sure what that has to do with where I put the cursor thing around the outside edge. So that's bottom slash is liquid. What about, let's start with the one that's circled. Maybe that's actually the hint. So water animal is the one that looks like a pitchfork. Yeah, we already know that's 3. I don't think there's anything to select. Three is this bottom corner. I'm lost. It's just obfuscated enough that I don't understand what I'm changing when I'm moving this. I mean, I'm assuming I'm changing which 2 runes it's combining? But then I'm not really sure what I'm trying to put together in the larger scope.
Someone punched the wall so hard that they bled. Was it you, Harry?
Am I supposed to be reading all of these? So water, transformation, growth or life, and I forget what that one is. Eternal. It's hard to pictorially represent the concept of eternal life. I don't know what it wants me to do. Put 4 at the top. I guess that would be this one. What I think is frustrating about this is that the puzzle is understanding the interface, not actually solving anything. It's not about using logic, I don't think. It's about just following what I'm doing here. If I could understand this, then that's the puzzle. I also don't know if I'm meant to, like, click this once I get them all right, or if it's just going to open. I have found it's a little bit to the detriment of the game that the puzzles tend to be more about really abstracted things rather than the actual subject matter of the game. And as I said last time, it's like a lot of steps moving power around to various places, but it also makes sense in the context. It's not like they pulled it out of their ass to just make that the puzzle. Hey, Fruit Sorbet. Yeah, I'm really quite lost. I don't even really understand what I should be doing to know better than I do at the moment. I know I have all the information. But what am I doing with these runes? We're making this face north. So we're just altering the orientation of this wheel. We're just taking, instead of rotating this wheel around, we're rotating this, and the wheel stays stationary. I don't know why the wheel needs to stay stationary. But I shouldn't focus on that, 'cause it doesn't matter. So we know the rune is liquid. It's combining... What is it combining? It's combining 1 and 3, but... I don't know what. Make them the same as the pictures. I think that's the way they started. I think we just took note of the way that they were initially, and I just haven't, I haven't figured out what the code is, what orientation they need to all be in. No, the only interaction point is the button. I'm pretty sure I'm eventually just going to click these enough times that the door's just going to open, and then I'm going to go, okay, that was weird. Oh, no, you're fine, Fruit. Honestly, speculation is welcome here, because I'm really not sure what I'm doing. There's 4 wheels with 4 combinations, so there can't be that many. I think I get it. Do you want a hint? Kind of. What's frustrating is I get it at, like, a very basic level, but I don't still get, like, the full big picture still. I get that I'm selecting different runes based on the orientation of this plumb bob, which I guess is very obvious, but... what am I combining, and what am I trying to say by combining things? Are these part of it? I mean, I guess not, because there's more up there. The fact that this one is highlighted as water animal seems very relevant. I feel like I'm almost missing another aspect of the puzzle, like something I haven't realized I can interact with. It's inserting the symbol from the image above into the marked quadrant. Just imagine moving the circle instead of the diamond. But moving it into which quadrant? Because I'm selecting the intersection between 2 quadrants. So how do I know if it's this one or that one? Why wouldn't it pick the corners in the 45 degrees instead of the freaking 90s? So I'm putting the Eternal Rune into quadrant 1 here, if this is this position. So do I want Eternal to be on 4? I am, yeah, I'm trying to imagine the diamond is always up, yes. I was saying about the wheel rotating before. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just moved it to the 4th position now. No. No, I just confused myself. 4th position. That's the middle. Does it start here? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I want something in the 1st position, it's this. 4th position is this. I think even if I know that, I'm still not much better off. This is life. God's blood, transformation, eternal life. So have I just combined eternal and life? Because 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4? So is the puzzle just the fact that these crosses to represent the sigils are oriented in the pattern that they are, that leads to changing the rotation of this based on this? If they were all the same shape, then there would be no puzzle? I think that's right. Liquid transformation. No, it would have been the bottom one, wouldn't it? The notebook image with the numbers also has a diamond, which tells you the relative positions. Yeah, I can't seem to get this into my brain. I'm feeling very dumb.
Harry threw a bottle against the wall. Was it because he was frustrated for not deciphering this? Or because of what he discovered when he did?
Do I want it to go 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 1, 4, 4? I don't know if I'm combining them. Oh man. There's also like no feedback for doing anything. It's just wheel turn, wheel turn. Well, I think I'm hopefully gonna stumble into it eventually. I'm just moving things. I don't like this puzzle very much. I'm accepting that I don't understand it sufficiently to solve it, it seems, which is not a great way to be. Keep changing until the end, but what end is Harry talking about? Death? No, clearly transformation. Didn't you read all that bit? You're gonna turn into like a mermaid demon. As you've also been seeing in your own hallucinations, so I don't know why she's so clueless. The quadrant left below the diamond is always 1. Oh, see, I thought it would have started like a clock, or like we're moving 12 around, and so the one to the right of it is always 1. But you're saying we're designating north, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Or is it 1, 2, 3, 4? It's one. It's a cross. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't tell me it's this obvious. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I think I do want it there. Is that 4? That's still not right. Every time I look at it, I have a different interpretation of it. Don't forget to throw the bottle of wine. That's how you signal to stop clock.
This is the right combination.
I hate that. I think I was entirely overthinking that. All of my issues were stemming from thinking I was doing like 5 more actual things than I really was doing. In my head, I was combining runes with the denotation of the rotation of this. And then I was lost as to what the point even was. I don't like that puzzle very much, and if I was to have to explain it to someone else, I would probably not want to do that. I would say that was my least favorite puzzle in the game so far. That's the worst feeling when you finish a puzzle and you're like, oh, why?
It appears Harry didn't advance any further.
I can't go any farther. Tried everything in this. Uh-oh, he said the S word. Isn't working. It's not working. What do I need to follow the sequence correctly? And my hand, I can't get that thing to work. That thing. I need to cross the river down there. Anyway, for what? Hey, whatever happened to that purple river we were going to cross? Did we go in there? We might have.
Those are drums of some sort.
Are we going to play steel drums? Like pineapple slices from Sonic the Hedgehog. Whoa. That's scary. Is it a beat loop?
Nora, you idiot, just follow the sequence.
Oh. Oh, it's just Simon. That's... No, other way.
Nora, you idiot, just
Follow the sequence. I needed to know what they sounded like first. Okay, at least the size of the drum head makes sense. Low, medium, high. High, low, high. There's always people that really struggle with these kind of tone challenges. And for like accessibility reasons, I feel like these aren't the best kind of puzzles. I personally don't mind them. But I am aware of pretty much every time this comes up, there's like a group of people that's like, I can't do these type of things. And I'm sympathetic to that. Medium, medium, high, low. Was it high, high, medium, medium, low, low, low? I think that's right. Did I... Oh, I botched it, didn't I?
Wrong. Let's try again.
Wait, what did I do? She didn't say it was wrong before. Dino does, thank you very much for the 20 months. Welcome back for your Twitch Prime. Your Prime anniversary, 20 months. Let's bongo. Okay, give me bongo cat strength so I can properly challenge the bongo god. I really like this swooshing cloud pattern going on. It reminds me of Returnal. High, low. Was that low or medium?
Wrong. Let's try again.
Low. High, medium. Was that medium or high? Or medium or low, I mean. Shit. I shouldn't have moved the earpiece. That screwed me up.
Wrong. Let's try again.
Low. Okay, I'm gonna really pay attention this time and I have both ears on. High, medium. Low, medium, high. The difference between low and medium sometimes seems to screw me up. High. High, mid, high.
Nora, you idiot, just
No!
follow the sequence.
It was high, low, high. I thought it was freaking medium. Ah! Medium, medium, high, low. High, medium, medium, low. Low, low.
Wow, this technology never ceases.
I thought I
to
did that the
amaze.
first time. Did I, like, play high twice when I meant to do it once? Jesus, that was embarrassing. I should have been able to do that first try. That all that's here? No more weird drum. Oh. That's the inverted Star Trek hand? I feel like we should be able to walk around in that and it would, like, displace when we walk through it. Looks very satisfying. It's the Vapor's Paradise.
Harry said it didn't work for him, so it shouldn't work for me.
No, you got Blood of the God,
Unless
though.
There's something different about my hand. Anyway, Nora, you know what you've got to do.
Oh. I'd be kind of worried about my hand doing that. If you're trying to get a cunning plan to get out of watching... Oh.
My hands. Look at my hands. This
I will.
is definitely not a dream. And I'm starting to doubt the others were dreams too.
If you want to get out of watching something, you should watch the Princess Diana musical, because it's the worst thing ever, and you can all have a good laugh.
I should be scared, but it's hard to explain what I feel, but it isn't fear.
Oh, they don't have the technology from Call of Duty. The fish won't move. Man, they were so far ahead of their time with the fish moving out of the way. It's hard to even understand, unless you live through it. They also have dog technology that makes there be a dog.
Another one of those gates, like the one I saw in the temple.
Can I breathe up here? I don't know if I'm like a strictly water creature now. Can I get out? Oh. Oh. Teleporters. Cool.
I'm back to being me.
Oh, very subsurface scattering. They've never used that effect to that degree before in this game.
It's hard for me to understand how these gates work. What happens every time I cross one of them?
I also love dog technology, yeah. Just to make there be a dog is really... it's quite a step forward. Okay. It simply feels like a way for them to neatly and concisely pair the movement... I thought this was bongos again. The movement and perspective shift of being underwater with a single button press rather than having to do a weird animation coming in and out. What is this?
Another panel of this strange technology. What's it for?
No more wheels.
Something related to the currents?
I am currently displeased. Oh, no, it's not that. But it looks like it would be that. The goop gets in, but then it gets stuck in the middle. We need a path for goop to go on. Is there another... Oh, double goop? Oh, maybe it's timed so that way you have to start this one first, because it's got the longer goop path. And then you start this one and then they meet. Yeah. I think that's why this one's twisty. Ooh. Never get bored of sphincter doors.
Wow.
Off we go on a wild adventure. We're abzuing now. Don't slam into the wall. Ooh, Blueberry Land.
The island is pierced by underground currents.
I thought you said the island is pissed. I played all those weird gas tubes and then the island got pissed. Okay, this is how we get out. Tubely.
That architecture again. Where is this gate going to lead me now?
So bright. Oh, this is to Bed of Chaos, I believe. Or the Lost World? Oh, it's so pretty! This is where you go for your desktop wallpapers.
What a quiet and peculiar place.
We're in the mist age of exile.
Who made these marks?
It was me.
They look quite old.
Harry did. He just keeps touching things. Oh. You want a spoonful of that?
Looks like some sort of food. It's not human food, though, and it's fossilized, too.
Fossilized, non-human food. Ah! Okay.
Heavens, slaves and masters and... Nicole. Wasn't Nicole in the notes?
This looks like a Winamp visualizer I made in 2000. Not saying that's a bad thing. I think it's a cool visual. Call of the Sea, Breath of the Wild. Has there ever been a Cthulhu-inspired open-world exploration game? I know a lot of them tend to lead you down linear paths, so they can do their scripted story sequences. I think there's something about having the freedom to choose where in a large landscape you want to be that would lend additional weight to the, choice-making process.
I wonder who used to live here. It seems it was abandoned ages ago.
The whole Cthulhu thing is about power play and dynamics, like Quentin Tarantino movie. So if you give your player more agency, then they'll feel more consequences as a result of their actions. And I find that these kind of highly scripted linear sequences, I mean, they're great for storytelling because they can make the player do exactly what you want. But you don't really get that emotional attachment the same way you would as if you were the one making those decisions directly. Oh, that's cool looking. You know what I mean?
Understood that.
I think we're learning their language now. Well, we learned it at like a educational level, and now we're actually internalizing it. What is this? Elevator, I don't know where. Oh. What? Oh. Don't know why that happened. Not a lot of new games anyway where choices have actual consequences. It's sort of a production issue a lot of the time.
They are the same style. These huts are much simpler than the magnificent architecture I've seen up to now.
Every time you make a choice that has like a proper consequence, the way you would think of a consequence, you're like building a branching path that may as well be an entirely new game. For all of the extra added work that adds, unless you simplify that down to stat changes or, one or two different lines of dialogue. Very few games that exist have really implemented deep and meaningful choices the way that I think we all think of them. Funny enough, Detroit Become Human tried. I mean, many of those David Cage games tried, and I think that one at least got closer than most. Although the game was silly at times. I mean, the writing was just kind of terrible. It waffled between terrible and funny and occasionally vaguely interesting, but then you've heard me talk about this before. But you need that magical pairing of great world design and great writing and the budget to make those two things both sing.
There are some hand marks made with pigments. I wonder if they mean something. I better draw them just in case.
You better. Looks like we're finding our next world puzzle. That's why Telltales were okay but slightly disappointing. And Telltale games tend to seem really amazing the first time you play them because you do get that illusion of choice, but then when you find out ultimately a lot of what you were doing was just sort of a vague, a detour from the actual path, rather than it being like a properly different path. That kind of ruins the illusion, and that seems to be what happens a lot with the David Cage games too. They do attempt to make a different path, but they don't really stick to them the way that you would hope. And as I was saying, I can't really fault any developer for not doing that the way we'd all like. It's such a problem of scaling. It's like paying a developer to make 50 different games at the same time and then release it as one. The resources are disproportionate to the output.
It's quite disturbing to see someone's hand paintings from thousands of years ago. I feel connected to them somehow.
And as much adoration as that would garner, having gone through that process, if anybody ever did do that, it would still be one game release that would be generally probably loved, but not something you could really repeat. I think the way out of that, though, is when we get to the point where AI learning can kind of pick up some of the slack. Not that I'm saying they should handle writing or something like that, but Perhaps we can get to a point where procedural animation is so simple that you can just create almost effortlessly, almost like dreams, actually. Create tons and tons and tons of content. But then you also have to have another human layer to check that all of those things don't conflict with each other, too.
The same thing as the black ooze.
Yeah, I think we figured that out ages ago, didn't we? In my own mind, I was thinking those were the same. Whoops.
How can I explain what's happening to me? What is the meaning of all this? God's blood, transformation, eternal life. I feel like I'm going through what was written in that inscription.
This area is just freaking beautiful, isn't it? Quite a few areas that have been just gorgeous. Kind of reminds me of like a Zelda area, like this is Zora's domain or something. Well, maybe they've never looked quite this elaborate and ornate. Man, I'd love to actually pick the mind of a developer that's been on like the ground floor of some of the things I'm talking about and have experienced the pitfalls of like trying to attempt to make a game with consequences, so to speak. A lot of the time you'll see that in text adventures, they sometimes have the most freedom of choice because they can really just put all their effort into strictly writing. They don't have to back up every single decision with like 100,000 assets. And then the next step from a text adventure would be like a point-and-click adventure, because
blood in eyes, like in the well.
A lot of the assets in a point-and-click are going to be, you know, something might be animated with 6 or 10 frames. It's not going to be like, you know, a character with 1,000 looping animations and dialogue that goes on for ages and quest lines and things that have cascading fractal effects coming off of them. But I guess that's still the idea. I prefer strict linear at this point because your choices really matter. It's near impossible to execute. Well, that's the thing. I'm wondering, is it actually impossible to execute, or is it a matter of technology that we haven't quite turned the corner on yet? Because I completely understand where you're coming from in saying it's impossible, but I also wonder, though, maybe it's to some degree a failure of imagination, that there is sort of a combination of automation and hand-guided technology that could result in vaguely the thing we're looking for here. I mean, I hope that's the case, that we can eventually get there. But I guess I'm also not holding my breath either that I'll see it in my lifetime. Maybe it's not the case. Any thoughts on those narrative choice games that actually change what happened before your choice based on your choice? Like, change the murderer just because you pick specific options? I'm trying to think if I've ever played a game that I'm aware of that did that. If the player isn't aware of the changes, doesn't it functionally not matter? Or maybe I'm not understanding the question. I remember at work I was trying to do some playable ads where there's different effect depending on how the player interacts. This was very basic, but the amount of options I need to make was insane. Yeah, that's what I mean. It gets out of control almost immediately. It's the factorial problem, right? As soon as you have two options that branch into two options, suddenly you're creating exponentially more work. And that's what I meant about having a solution that's like automated. Oh, I missed this. We've got people scratched out, and then we've got something. I don't quite know what that is.
Someone vandalized this mural. Some hands look human, but others are amphibian hands.
We need like a neural network game developer that can extrapolate enough about game design to basically create the thing itself, and then you can like fill in the blanks.
Whoever the inhabitants were, they were living here against their will.
Not exactly a high priority in, you know, the scheme of what the world needs as far as solutions to things, but so long as we're strictly talking in a vacuum about video games, it's very interesting to me as a concept where that might go. But yeah, if there's like any efforts at all going toward you know, stopping global warming, do that first. I'll wait on the real player dynamic choice game. You know, another option would be if we could make interactive dreams.
Primitive bowls and plates.
Let the player generate the game themselves. Or, okay, this is going to sound really stupid. If you could snapshot someone's brain and then compartmentalize the section of it that... so basically you're playing D&D with an artificial brain. That's basically what I mean by automation, and I guess it turns into Soma at that point.
It seems that each family had to agree somehow to change the water level. I'm amazed at how organized they seem to be.
So that's
despite them being so primitive.
Amazon, Tesla, Walmart, Coca-Cola, Disney, Time Warner. This would be Disney over here. So each family agreed to change the water level to about, what, 6 inches by 2050? I forget what the numbers are.
Some slaves die. Some slaves have water.
That looks tasty.
Water animal. Is that what I am now?
Well, we will all become water animal.
The inhabitants of this village lived at different altitudes. Some even lived inside the water. They used this sort of dam to lower or raise the water level.
Really funny that I'm watching this play out after just last night having watched the Futurama episode where the ship, the delivery ship, gets eaten by or taken down to the bottom of the ocean, and they find the sunken remains of Atlanta, Georgia, and the backstory to why there are denizens, mermaid people living on the bottom of the ocean is Atlanta sunk, and then the people didn't want to abandon their houses, so they eventually evolved into mermaids. And the jump in logic there is so funny to me because it's like, obviously they'd just all drown. They just showed them living, like, sitting on their porch under the water with their shotgun. Have you ever played AI Dungeon? Kind of like D&D with AI. No, I haven't. That would be a really interesting thing to check out, actually, then, given that it seems to be very on topic with what I was just discussing. What? It does a little curtsy? Oh, thank you. Why did it go lower the first time? AI Dungeon just devolves into horny too often. It learned from the worst of the... Oh no. That almost makes me want to play it even more just to see how ridiculous it is. I had this idea of giving players all the toys and gadgets for a level and measuring what stuff they like to use most and building the rest of the unlocking path around that, like a custom Metroid game. That is a cool idea, yeah. Since I've been playing so much Isaac, I keep going back to this idea of, like, why can't we have Isaac without all the bad items in it? But then you get always to the point where you go, well, if there's nothing bad, then you just win every run and it's too easy, so it isn't really that fun. And then the skill balance gets out of proportion with the luck balance. So you have to kind of take it on that you're going to get really bad runs, sometimes a lot of them in a row, because then otherwise there wouldn't really be a game. Yeah, what's the fun of a slot machine that only pays out? Exactly. But then the next level thinking beyond that even is, so why don't you balance the good items to be diverse in such a way that they're still good, but they're not so strong that they're determinate of runs individually. And I think that's kind of maybe what they tried to do. But then they don't make up for it on the other end. There are items that are just so bad they're, like, strictly not helpful. but there are items that are very good but still not helpful. It's a very complicated topic that I'm sure people have talked about for 1 million hours. Hey, Aaron. Trying to make do with what you've gotten given, yeah. So long as those options are viable, and I don't know that in Isaac they always are. The predominant way that I tend to win runs, I think I need to pick these in a certain order, is maybe what's going on here. The predominant way I tend to win runs is I just want as much damage as possible early on, and then I want to get angel rooms, because angel rooms disproportionately pay out in useful items. Devil rooms, I don't trust them anymore. They don't seem to really add up. There are some decent ones in there, but you lose too many good things by not taking angel rooms, which then means you have to structure your run around getting angel rooms, potentially. So I think I need to pick these in a certain order, and then when I do it wrong, they reset. And then the pillar, or the pedestal over there is what moves the pillars around. Oh, nice, Fire Hellkite. I'm glad you liked it. Or, well, I guess you didn't say you liked it, but I'm glad you enjoyed enough to finish it anyway. Also very happy that I didn't spoil the entire game for you. I am always aware of that problem. I do not want to take the experience away from people watching me play these games, and in this case a very linear, puzzly kind of game, so you're pretty much going to get the gist. I mean, you may miss a couple of things, like if you walk away you might miss me solving something, or maybe I walk past an item. But this is like the majority of the game playing out. I don't want to take that away, so if you enjoy what I'm playing, you should go play it yourself. Not that I don't want you here, I absolutely do, but I also don't want to spoil games for you either, and unfortunately it is the exact nature of what I do to spoil games for people. I need to figure out what I'm doing before I click on that again. Am I going to play Elden Ring in February? Very likely, yes. And I have not spoiled any of that for myself at all. Okay, what's our journal say? Symbol order. Scratches, red hands, orange hands, white hands. So who's got the scratches? That's the first question. I know there's some kind of hands down at the bottom there. So white hands? Not actually sure what I'm trying to accomplish either. Something to do with these pillars, but I don't know what they're trying to do. When I see people playing puzzle games, I usually end up buying them like a year later and forget all the solution. That's also true, yeah. I should mention that, as I've also experienced recently, you can just play a game a second time and it feels fresh sometimes. Especially if you weren't paying super close attention, you were just kind of listening along but not really watching. So that's white hands. So that's the last one we press? I don't know if the whole solution hinges on just doing them in this order. From top to bottom. I played through Talus Principle with a friend 4 or 5 years ago. I'm going to replay it now solo. Nice. Still haven't played that. So there's scratches. I'm going to try this one. Scratches, red hands. I don't think we have red hands here. As great as Elden Ring might be, I might hold off on it because I have my eyes on another game right be around that time. I don't really have expectations for Elden Ring. In fact, I think possibly making it into an open world game might do sort of a detriment toward it. Because a lot of what made Dark Souls so special to me is the level design. And granted, I'm sure there will still be structured sequences, sort of like the shrines in, you know, Breath of the Wild or something. I kind of don't like the idea as much that you can just go around and experience things at any point. It takes the cleverness away from the shortcuts in that. The strength of Dark Souls was mostly about the level design to me more than the combat mechanics, although those were fun as well. That's why I never got into PvP. It was more about walking around and looking at stuff than it was about fighting. Hey, Macrid. Yes, it's a very pretty game, I agree. We need this. We need orange hand, but there's no switch here. We just jotted those down. Orange hand. Are you up top? You love the feel of the combat in Souls game. Yeah, I mean, I also love the feel of the combat. I just mean that's not what brought me to it as much. The main gist of why I play is just to kind of like get a feel of the atmosphere for the game and walk around all the environments. And as a consequence, the way that you have to navigate is by engaging in combat many, many times. If I didn't enjoy it, like, I definitely wouldn't still be playing the series, because the vast majority of the game is combat. There's also the trial and error kind of puzzle mechanic too, which I find engaging. There are kind of like right and wrong ways to engage certain situations, and sometimes you can be clever in ways that get rewarded. This is the hands. But then the other side of that is you can also be dumb in ways that you don't realize are being punished. Especially when it comes up with like stat resistances and stuff like that. Sometimes those soft punishments, they're not really highlighted enough to me. And not that they aren't highlighted enough in general, but to me, because I'm a little dense sometimes, I may bash my head against something just because I'm not paying attention to a particular interaction that isn't really at the forefront of the game design. I do feel like an open world FromSoft can become convoluted than ever with secrets, and I mean that in the best way possible. Hey, you know, I'll just try and keep an open mind. Probably it'll be good. I hope it'll be good. I mean, they've obviously got me on board so far as the world, you know, the atmosphere look of it, that sort of gothic fantasy thing. I never get bored of that. I know that's not everybody's thing, but I like it. And the creature designs also. That's the other thing. I really love the creature designs and the boss designs and monstrosities of various kinds. And Dark Souls has just been sort of a venue for demons. Crap. That wasn't the order I was supposed to follow, evidently. I was supposed to follow maybe what's on the pillars? This is a highly consequential meander to get wrong. I tend to find some form of enjoyment in open world stuff, but that's because I get enjoyment out of just exploring and finding things. Right, and I do too. And I'm not saying that I don't, because I absolutely do. I think it's just the pairing of FromSoft's particular cleverness to their world design and then letting that just kind of be out in the open. It doesn't give you the tools you need to let those moments come to be. You can't bottleneck the player into finding clever shortcuts when you just have options about moving around. You know, say if... Well, this is an extreme example because I actually think this is a really stupid thing, but you know in Dark Souls 2 how there's the pile of rubble that prevents you from advancing in that one particular spot. I'm spacing on the name of it. This is the shrine where you need to bring like 1,000,000 souls, and that's basically your bottleneck. If your character could just freaking lift their knee up to like waist height, you could just skip half the game. And so if you could, like, climb walls in Dark Souls, all the level design would immediately fall apart. And that's fine if that's the designed, you know, intended purpose at the end of the day. But they've given us a particular set of rules and guidelines with which we follow. We've all agreed, you know, this player will not climb over walls, so we have to go through arduous tasks and kill hundreds of demons in order to open a particular door, you know, just so we don't have to climb over a pile of rubble. Alright, and then there's Sekiro, where they gave you a grappling hook, and they tried a different approach in that, and I found that the world design was less engaging in Sekiro for me, but I know that it's still very well loved, so, you know, that's not really, like, a serious criticism, just a personal one. Breath of the Wild did a good job with open worlds, hopefully from sucking the second one. Yeah, I guess I agree. I keep finding myself more underwhelmed by Breath of the Wild the more I play it. It all started with experience rotting from the deterioration of items, but it's sort of spiraled out from there now. The majesty of the look of it all has felt more dated the more time has gone by, and I think that impressive first shot of it was so awe-inspiring and new as far as tech-wise. I couldn't really conceive of it all. Am I supposed to spiral down from the top or up from the bottom? I don't know. I'm trying to make the pillar go down, I guess. So I'll start up there. Oh, I didn't add that to the thing. That's probably why I failed. RIP! No, it's fine if you like the item degradation. I'm glad you do, and I'm glad that there are people who got the thing they wanted out of the game. I'm not trying to diminish that. I just wasn't one of them. I like to specialize with the thing that I feel comfortable with, weapon-wise. If there's one that I think looks cool or feels especially fun to wield, I spend all of my effort on that. And then when they've made it all about, you know, swapping all the time, you can't really invest mentally. It takes the collection aspect away, and it becomes more about everything sort of being cheap and disposable. I'm sure you've heard the arguments for and against 100 times, so I'll spare you, but that's where I come from with it. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I do agree with you about the speedrun tricks. That is really impressive, the stuff people have figured out there. And the fact that there's so much physics interaction interwoven into the gameplay does lend itself to really interesting and out-of-the-box solutions to things. So if you look at it like a weird puzzle game, which, you know, to a degree it is, that's good fun. What one is this? Oh, this is hands. I think we want spirals. Spirals are downstairs. Sorry, this is probably the most boring section of the game now, because I'm just walking up and down this path 100 times as I struggle to understand what I'm meant to do. If we're going to do a trial and error thing, putting all the switches spread out this far is, well, it was a bold choice. You did the same thing at this part? Fair enough. Thank you for making me feel less alone about that. Well, despite what I just said about Breath of the Wild, I do still think there are some strong elements to it, of course, and I am still, to a degree, pretty impressed by the sheer scope of it all. Now, granted, the detail isn't quite there, but that's largely due to the hardware constraints, I'm sure. It's too bad we couldn't get Breath of the Wild 2 to be a PC exclusive so we could get it really freaking detailed. And I don't necessarily mean like there's something wrong with the graphics. It's nothing like that. I think we're supposed to start with this one. I think I've been doing it all backward. But what? This is the one that moves it. There's no pedestal. Where's the pedestal with the button? So it must be that's the last one then. So we need to start at the white hands and then work our way up. But yeah, what I meant is just the density of details in Breath of the Wild would be really awesome to see ramped up a lot. It looks great for what they could accomplish on Switch hardware, which is admittedly, it was dated from the day it came out. And just literally had this conversation with Lynn last night about the Switch. It's like, it almost was like buying a 10-year-old PC when it came out, but at the same time, it's the only way you can play like hundreds of surprisingly modern games on a handheld. I mean, at least until the Steam Deck comes out. Or, you know, if you have like a Raspberry Pi solution or something like that. Where am I going? I want orange hands. So I'm not really downplaying... Although the Switch has dated hardware, it still was a huge step forward at the same time. I'm sure we will get to a point, probably quite soon, where we've got, like, whatever the current gen console is in our pocket. And then even further, have that current gen console in our pocket have a decent battery life and compact design. That's kind of the holy grail. You want all those things at the same time, but they're obviously all playing off each other and quite difficult to implement. And also it has to be able to play Skyrim, but I'm sure they'll solve that problem soon enough. Yeah, it sucks Nintendo makes games for Nintendo. It really does. It does seem like we're moving away from that kind of exclusivity to some degree. I mean, with Sony and Microsoft now both becoming a little bit more open to PC as an option, well, that latent pressure is always being exerted on Nintendo to, like, join the club because you're leaving money on the table. From a strictly capitalistic perspective, and I think that's probably the only way Nintendo sees things anymore. Hi, Ethan. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Hope you're doing well as well. Happy Christmas Eve. Wait, is this... Where's Scratches? Scratches the hyena. There it is. And then we want this one. Hopefully this is it, and then we can move on. Oh, lovely to see you. Thanks for coming by, Great Space Adventure. You came in at a kind of a funny time because I'm just in a bit of a repetitive puzzle as I wander around this, but we're generally quite enjoying Call of the Sea. I'm in a chatty mood talking about console stuff. Please. Oh, I think we did it. It is, it's gorgeous. In fact, this particular area we're in at the moment is one of the prettier ones in the game, and there have been quite a few scenes that were striking. Alright, moving on. Apologies again that I had to spend this long wandering. Yeah, puzzle games for me, I can have moments of greatness, but I think I tend to writhe around a little bit while I try to understand certain factors. Like with The Witness, I had a couple of elements about The Witness that I got really hamstrung by that I struggled with. But then I had moments where I was like, oh, this is my language. And that felt great, by the way. If you haven't played The Witness, you know, despite what we may like or not like about Jonathan Blow, it's a great game.
To raise and lower the water level. It's impressive.
Although I understand it's also not for everybody, considering it's, 40 hours of line puzzles. For some reason, I got into it, and it became my jam, and I was very much excited to just explore that island with a ever-evolving language. I would dare say The Witness still might be one of, if not my favorite puzzle game, because it had such a joyous environment to explore, and I know that was a large part of it. They wanted to give you that same kind of awestruck feeling as when Myst was brand new, and I definitely think they hit their mark, and then some. And you know, the game was in development for like freaking better part of a decade, I think. Oh, this is very pretty. What am I looking at down here? Oh. Is that like a... Oh, those doors give you a turbo boost. I think we might have to open that first. Have you played the VR Mist game? Aaron asks Swordsman. Yeah, I think I forgot there was a VR one. Or do you mean not Mist as such, but the spiritual sequel that I'm now blanking on the name of that I have actually played?
Different types of creatures of the same species lived here, but they weren't free.
Hi, Viralis. No, tomorrow I won't be on, but today I'm still here. No, sorry, not Riven, the more contemporary one that came out like 3-4 years ago. Someone even said the name of it earlier, and I've just forgotten again. Why are you a terrifying fish person? Because I got infected with black goop, and that's kind of what happens. No, it's not Mist-Riven or Exile or Uru, it's the same people made a new game. Or at least some of the same people. I don't know if it's the entire same.
Continent.
Is it Cyan? I think they're called. The Mist remake. Am I supposed to link these all together? I feel like we're gonna do some cool, like, combo through all these gates. Whoa! Oh, that is maybe what's happening. Yeah, I think we might have to turn these pillars so they all go in the same direction. Abduction. Yeah, that's the one. You can tell it's them because they randomly have a bunch of, like, flat plane FMV people, NPCs, standing around in the game world.
They rebelled against their masters. The slaves seemed to worship two gods.
It was very good, by the way, if you haven't played Abduction. I haven't finished it, but what I played of it was very captivating. A little bit of that, like, vaguely annoying puzzle logic that sometimes Myst has, but you expect that a little. Oh, Wiki tells you there's an actual mystery over it.
Dedicated to two figures. I can hear them talking to me.
See, I thought you were talking about Abduction, but there is actually a VR version. Okay. I'm not up to date on my Myst stuff. You could say I missed it. Yeah, sorry, I tangented what you said into something unrelated. Recently got the Quest 2, seems slightly underwhelming. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I think it's gotta be amazing at least to have wireless. I mean, I know you can tether it as well.
Place,
what is that?
but it has also seen
Waterfall?
a lot of suffering. All the island is that way. Beautiful but dangerous. The danger does not seem to affect me, though.
Ah! I think that's that cloud shader that I was looking at before that it looked like you could walk through it and, like, displace it. That's probably what they used for the waterfall, and then they also just were like, oh, this is just a nice effect, too. Hi, Mycelium. Just play a load of Beat Saber. That is one of the better things to play, yeah. There's a lot of great VR stuff out there. I would recommend Gorn as well, if you don't mind it being incredibly violent. And if you do mind that, then fair enough. But I enjoyed that quite a bit. Oh, we've got to do one of these. Half-Life Alyx, of course. Room VR is also worth looking into, although I haven't played that, but I love the whole series, so I'm fairly certain that it's going to be good as well. Oh. I need to rotate this. Oh, no, I don't. It's just done. Where is it? Did I solve that? No. I guess we want it that way? Oh, I think we're pointing to the gate we're trying to open, maybe. Never heard of Gorilla Tag. Oh. I think I did that a bit late. Yeah. This is just a timing puzzle. You just have to wait until it's like halfway through it. Still wrong. A little bit earlier. That'll do it. It's a free multiplayer tag VR game. Nice. I guess before I bought it, I was hoping for more free experiences. They are out there. There are some indie developers that have really gone hard on VR, and I can't say I know where to find them, but I would say just poke around on GameJolt and itch.io. Maybe Alpha Beta Gamer. Or is it Alpha Beta Gaming? Anyway, search those words, you'll find it. They do come up more often than you'd think, and there's still quite a bit of experimentation going on in that space. I'd say in an hour you'd probably be able to come up with a couple dozen games to find and play around with.
So these creatures are immortal?
Of course. I do kind of like the aspect that there's so much experimentation going on in the VR space still. On the other side of it, it means you get a lot of half-baked, unfinished games that are sort of tech demos, but if you're like me and you kind of like seeing what people are trying to experiment with, it's a much shorter turnaround time to get those little bits and pieces out that let you really kind of get to the core of what they're trying to accomplish. And with VR, I mean, building a whole game around a particular set experience, I feel like it can get worn out after a while. Unless you build it like Gorn, where it's sort of a modular little thing you can kind of jump in and out of, or Beat Saber, which is the same way. Or The Room, which has bite-sized puzzles that you can engage with and then move on from. I think that's kind of like the sweet spot for VR for me. Although I'm still open to the idea there being other engaging experiences as well.
Creatures of the same species lived here, but they weren't free.
Like Half-Life Alyx is not structured that way. It's mostly structured the way you'd expect a traditional, long-form narrative adventure action game to be. It just happens to be in VR, which I know is, exclusionary for a lot of people, but I think there was a mod that actually lets you play it without VR as well. I thought it was great, but it was a little overwhelming, the amount of things you needed to remember. Like, there's a lot of very particular movements you need to do very quickly and like, have them ready to go. But they train you up to it. It's not like they just throw you in the deep end. What did I miss here? One of these gates is not open. Well, this one's facing the wrong way, I guess. I meant to start at the top. Good question, Wise Wolf. How is the performance on wireless? Because that is a factor. If the performance is not as good or meaningfully worse, and you would prefer to use the wired link... Oh, there's a switch there. Yeah, okay, so that's a time button, and then we're supposed to turn these all so they zoop me through. I have a 5G network that's nothing to do with... nothing else connected to it. I think we're talking about the, like, input lag? Like, or latency from, moving your head and the hand tracking to the, input being registered and sent back. Okay, I like how I just stood there and waited for a moment. Yeah, for very input-critical things like Beat Saber,
I made it.
You definitely don't want there to be any lag, although I guess the instructions on that are a little bit, like, abstracted. Okay, I'm in here now. Oh, we go up. Yeah, there's no computer required for the quest. You can link it to one as well, though, if you want to.
My illness has kept me from being happy.
Sometimes the input lag
now is the complete opposite of being sick.
gets worse if you have multiple cameras plugged in.
Even better than before my illness.
It is a remarkable amount of data that's, like, flying back and forth at a really fast rate. Not that I'm saying, like, it shouldn't work seamlessly, it should, but it's pretty impressive that we've figured out a way to make that all happen. And I think they... Did they undo the restriction that you needed to have a Facebook account to use the quest? I thought I remembered reading that, like, they went backward on that, maybe. Oh, we're out of the water now. I thought that was a cutscene. Now what? Is this forward? I have a first-gen Oculus, and I generally really like it, but I have wanted something with a little bit higher resolution, because it's rough when there's text. It's really screen-doory, and... I mean, it gets the job done, but it's still wired and a little bulky, and it's quite hot. I assume a lot of that stuff has been sorted.
Soaked. Being me, I mean... It's hard to explain this, even to myself.
This water looks like it's very minerally. So I can't go in the water because...
If I enter the water
yeah.
now, I'll be soaked. Being me, I mean...
So you have to go through the portal to become a mermaid. Do you have enough space in Ireland for a VR setup? I do at the moment because all my stuff's not here, but once I get my desk put in, it's... Yeah, it's probably going to be about nearly the same as it was in my other place. Unfortunately. Ireland isn't that small.
Now the water level is really low, so I can access that tunnel.
Cool. Back through here? Yeah, unfortunately I don't have a large plot of land or, you know, large building with which to set up VR in, but maybe one day. Or then the other option is
creatures lived like slaves.
Powerful
All their
laptop
lives imprisoned and
or wireless.
tortured in this place. Was it possible to live a decent life in here? If you've lived all your life in a prison, how would you know
I have an old
that you are a
laptop. It
prisoner?
sucks though. It wouldn't be nearly what I'd need for VR. Not even like 10% as strong as I'd need. I wonder if there'll be an Oculus Quest 3, or if they're kind of like, oh, we're done now. We've completely quadrupled down on NFTs and being scam artists, so yeah, no more VR from us. We're done with that. So this is the top where we just zoop through. Is that... Oh, we can't operate the button when we're not a mermaid.
Now I can enter this tunnel.
Yeah, first and foremost, the Quest was its own proprietary, like, standalone console. But then later down the line, they let it link up with a PC, as you would with an original Oculus. So it's kind of a hybrid of both, which is great, because you can get the best out of either end. Wait, really? VR... Facebook's going, like, exclusively VR now. But, like, not in a good way, though, right? They're using VR as sort of like a jumping-off point to then make a metaverse vision of their own, which is just going to be, you know, scam theme park. Why is being so deterrent to going to the water after just out in a thunderstorm for an hour? Oh, yeah. Good point. Is this reverse the current? Wait a minute. Oh, this is how I got in. This is not where it should be. Yes, but they're Oculus, so I assume that means more accessible VR, or the business model won't work. You get warped in from up there. I can't go backwards. So they are pigeonholing me into going this way. But this is how I came in, right? I'm just going backward. Yeah, I forgot about Second Life. I thought it got shut down, but maybe that's not correct. Well, this switch wasn't activated yet, so I guess that helps. Oh, that Facebook changed to Meta, becoming the thing that I feel Snow Crash and Neuromancer along with other Cyberpunk stores are warning about. Yeah, they really actively dove with both feet into that pit, didn't they? It's almost like, you know, declaring you're Dr. Wily and then building a skull fortress in the side of a mountain. It's like, so when are the robot masters coming down? You know? When do you have a timeline? Is there a roadmap for that?
This current is quite strong. I wonder where it will take me.
Hard to say. Oh, the fish are going! Although apparently it sounds like they're just trying to steal the name Meta because another small company trademarked the name early in the year. Yeah, they've been paying out, I forget, like 1 or 2 different people to have that name. They're essentially squatting the name due to the metaverse. They just want to show up first in all of the search results because they want to dominate that space and they think that's going to be the next big gold rush. Oh! Squid diddles. Lovely music. Look at the size and shape of that fish. I'll never look at a fish the same way again. I'll always be thinking of the size and shape. I'm very lost.
That was quite a ride, but it's over now.
Oh, it's so neon up here. You see that? Yeah, I really have lost, like, physical touch with where I am in space. Like, from where we started to get here, I don't know anymore. That's okay. Oh, it's so colorful.
That ladder. Someone set up camp in here.
Ari Dead, thank you very much for the year. 12 months of being a subscriber.
Looks like a means
Thank you,
of
thank you.
transportation to get to that sanctuary.
Candles. Can we climb this now? Yeah, I think so. Well, let's go have a look at that. Oh, the orange lighting just disappeared. What was that? This looks like coal embers. Like you scrape this out of your fireplace.
Seems to show
Hello.
two
Yeah, I
possible
see.
courses of
Thank you for the
action.
vibrating font.
One means transformation, and the other means death.
Yeah, it looks death-ish. Death adjacent. What's this? Oh, we have to time 4 of these now.
This panel looks different from the others. It's much more elaborate.
I think that third one was actually the second one. That's pretty. Okay, way off. Oh, it's quite the stakes on this one. We got 3. Let's do 1, 2, 3. I even need more gap in between them there. No, maybe we need to start on the bottom. Let's go... Wait, which one got first? I want that, that. Okay, so bottom was first, and then those two are roughly the same. So let's do these roughly close to each other, right? So that's what we did before, and then we're gonna wait until this is like halfway done, right there, and then we're gonna do this one. Let's see, there. Oh, it's so close. Okay, a little more gap. What a buffer. No, that's not right. No, that's already wrong. Can we undo it? Oh, it restarts. Oh, now this one's last. Oh, actually it was close except for the bottom. This is a trickier puzzle than I would have expected. Also, how come the goop is, like, luminescent blue now? We were dealing with a lot of black goop before. Oh, I waited too long again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go. 7, 8, 9, 10, go. 11, 12, 13, 14. That's way too late. Hi, Sanzi. You think Nintendo will ever approach VR? I think the closest they've gotten was the cardboard Labo thing. And, well, Virtual Boy, but that was crap, obviously. I think this bottom one takes less time than I keep thinking it does. Oh, that's pretty close. Oh, you're rude! I had a Virtual Boy. It had Panic Bomber. That game was fun. And Red Alert. A Red Alarm. Why did I wait that long? That's crazy too long. Oh my god. I got into my head I had to wait a long period between them. It's just the first and the second one I have to do that for. 3, 4, 5, go. No. Man, the top one is so hard to time. I wonder if there's like a guide to this somehow. Maybe there's a way you can time it based on these symbols. Maybe they give you context clues in some other format. Or really maybe it's just mechanically driven and you just have to figure out the timing. Yeah, the bottom's way too slow now. Damn, 3 of them touched, but not the one on the left. Yeah, you do have a bit of a margin, it's true. See, that time I was... Oh! So close! Nope. Oh! That was like within a second. Just spit in it a little. Can we have that? No! That could be. That could be.
This
That,
must be the
yeah!
transportation to the sanctuary.
I had to reset the left one. Okay, if they made The Witness, but it's all these puzzles, I would tear my own hair out. So please don't do that. Yeah, that's a weird test. I don't really know what they're trying to get you to be good at in that one. Your spatial reasoning? What's this? Oh, secret camp?
What is this? This... Oh my god. Did I almost forget about Harry?
Rude.
Harry, that
He's eating
look
beans
on your
again?
face. You look deranged.
Corn or something?
They seem to loathe each other.
I can't stand your lunatic face. I can't stand the noise you make when you eat. I can't stand you.
She doesn't seem to care much about Harry. And she doesn't seem to be thinking straight either.
Harry's mental decline is more evident each day, but today he said he found out someplace to carry out some ritual. I have to get to the bottom of this. I have to keep doing what I've been doing up until now. Listen to what he has to say and go along with him. I can't stand it, but I have to tread lightly because it's only him and me now, and the black ichor. Or ichor. Ichor. Falcor. This seems important.
Somebody painted these symbols on the wall.
Ah, that's probably the timing, isn't it? Yeah, I think I just brute forced that puzzle out of visual engineering. Oh, new task?
My dear old pal. It's only Cass and me now. I have much to thank her for, even if our friendship is worn thin due to hunger and fatigue. If she hadn't insisted so much, we'd never have convinced Teharoa. He guided us as we followed the river down from the mountain peak. And that's how we found this entrance. And the mural. Maybe I can't undo what's happening to you, Nora, but I think I can try to become like you.
Has it been my husband guiding me the whole way so we can become merm people together?
And there, they performed a ritual. Teharoa said the ritual was madness, and he didn't want any part of it. He and Cass argued, violently. When we woke up the next morning, he had left.
That's...
I know it sounds strange, but you have
That's
to
love.
trust me, my love. I know this is going to work, and we can be together. You understand what that means, don't you, Nora? We have a second chance. With more love than ever, Harry.
Harry? What ritual are you talking about?
We're gonna be fish
Why
together.
on earth would you want to become like me?
'Cause fish,
Don't be
Nora.
a fool.
The size and shape.
You don't even know if that ritual of yours is going to work.
It'll probably work.
You followed the river from the temple summit, and it took you some days to find this entrance.
Runes. Useless. Where is the sanctuary? I still don't know how to say their name properly. Tiahara? White Sand Beach, and they're building a raft. Oops.
A sanctuary? Harry, was that where you went?
The masters brought their slaves to a sanctuary by boat in order to perform the final stage of the ritual. So he's gonna have to sacrifice Cass, I guess?
Oh dear, poor people. Is this why I'm changing too?
Seems that the sanctuary was where the final stage of the ritual took place.
So the guide left the expedition. That would explain the workshop on the White Sand Beach, where I arrived.
I had plenty of death in this island. I helped you as long as I could, but I won't be an accomplice to this ritual madness. Return to the White Sand Beach to build a raft and leave this maudit ile. I'll be there if you change your minds, but I won't wait too long.
The sun is setting. It is so beautiful.
It is really pretty. I genuinely thought this game was going to be much more cheerful than it is. Because the, you know, idyllic, utopian almost setting is... It's just so pretty. You just don't think creepy things would happen in such a pretty setting. And here we are. Sacrificing people and turning into mermaids for love, apparently. Malediction. Thank you. Remember that episode of Futurama I was talking about? And then Fry fell in love with the mermaid from Georgia, and then he, like, realized she doesn't have a vagina, and then he booked it. He looked terrified. He was ready to give up everything and live on the bottom of the ocean with her and never go back to the surface, and then they almost had a night in bed and then gave it all up again. Already looked at that. Alright, I guess this is my boat. Looks very heavy for a boat, but maybe it's like a Disney ride. Yeah, that's what he said as he was running away. Why couldn't it have been a mermaid the other way around? You know, with the fish part on top. Very rude Fry. Sunken achievement. Falgo Effin.
It all makes sense. Nothing bad is going to happen
Oh,
to me.
pretty.
As menacing as this place might look. The island, the ooze, those sea creatures. They're just defending themselves. Like a wild
Okay.
animal against an unknown threat. That's how they perceived the
Freaking
expedition.
killing it on the visual
Like a
design in
threat.
this game.
But I, on the other hand, I wasn't a threat. And I definitely wasn't unknown, was I?
Hi. Are we friends?
They seemed to recognize me.
I don't know how you can tell that.
Everything seems so distant now. As if I first stepped on that white beach thousands of years ago. A full moon? It can't be. Yesterday was a new moon.
Oh no.
Did I lose track of time, or
Oh, friends.
maybe this place isn't subject to the laws of physics? That's the only explanation I can find for this surreal night. It's hard to believe everything is real. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I'll open my eyes sometime and I'll be back in our home in England and everything will be as before.
I wish some of these puzzles were a little less esoteric, because the story here is really cool, and I like this journey we've gone on. It's very interesting.
My illness.
Oh, look at glowing
That will be
jellies.
as before too. And then I'll need to shake off this strange feeling that I have now. Feeling that I don't really belong there.
Like, when I come back to this thinking about if I'd recommend it, like, generally, but, like, not everybody's gonna want to do these puzzles.
Or Newburyport. I mean... How is it possible that the strange events of only 2 days on this island makes more sense to me than the life
Yeah,
that
it's true.
I've
They
been
feel very
living for
disconnected.
years?
The puzzles and the narrative feel like they don't really fit together super well. So I guess that might be the biggest downside to this game, but the visuals are amazing, the soundtrack's amazing. I just wish it was a bit more cohesive from that perspective.
There it is.
It's not that they were awful, they aren't something I'd want to do again. But I guess if it's your first time through, I mean, you're only doing it your first time, so...
is this where you went, Harry? Was this your
That's
last
really
stop?
pretty. The worst part of the game was the game. I really don't mean it like that. I know that's kind of what I'm saying, but I don't mean it that way.
Another camp. Although it's little more than a few things scattered about.
I mean, as you'd hope, many of these productions tend to be more than the sum of their parts, and even if there's a decent portion of the gameplay that is a little kludgy or slow and maybe tedious, that's only kind of in retrospect. When you're still looking ahead, it isn't those things. So, do you recommend it based on that, knowing it'll be your first time? I don't have to watch.
A library?
Could have been a walking simulator, but it's
What are you
enjoyable, if
talking
not
about,
more.
Harry?
Mm-hmm. A vast library engaged at vistas of another world. Sounds fun.
Was
Blood
the blood of these
And
creatures
black ooze.
some sort of catalyst? Heavens, this dagger looks exactly like the one I have.
Yes, that was the dagger Frank was attacked with, and that is the one that we found in our suitcase.
Harry, what is this? It looks like the ramblings
Must
of a
do it
madman.
together. Change me? Question marks. Threw it away. We having a second itchy tasty? Weird love note.
My dear old pal. I never should have trusted Cass. I thought she cared about you, but she's just mad, obsessed with this place. I can't trust her to help me overcome the last obstacle. This door. I know how to open it. But what I have to do is mix my blood with the black ooze. Am I mad for even considering that? It's the only way we can be together. It has to work, right? All this can't be a coincidence. The ritual was made for the two of us, isn't it, Nora? I wish you could be here. Damn it. I have to think it over. I can't. Tomorrow. Leave it for tomorrow. Damn it. Stop writing.
What are you saying, Harry? Don't you see what the black ooze does? What it did to the doctor? Are you out of your mind?
I don't entirely understand, is he really motivated to turn into a fish person to be with her, or is that, like, the ooze making him say that? Because it seemed like he was trying to do that on his own, like, as a human, but also he seems to be out of control, too, and I'm not really sure where the person and the storyline separate. Like, whose motivation are we observing there? The character or the ooze? A strange sentence. Oh, that's so pretty. Such a sucker for stone slabs with runes on them. I did see that there was a corner to go in there. I just wanted to look around. I just had a moment of like, oh my god, we're wall running? That looks like the wall striations from a Prince of Persia game that you're meant to, you know, skitter across. This would be pretty sick as a parkour game, wouldn't it? Is this the ritual altar?
These patterns look too familiar.
Am I just gonna casually do the ritual? Okay.
Oh, I really hope this works.
I wasn't actually intending to proceed there yet. I just wanted to see what she said about it. Oh, it knows. Somehow that technology is amazing. I don't know. It's got a blood-seeking plate in the stone. Funny how much your playthrough mirrors what I just did. See, you're always trying to, like, find what forward is and what the side paths are, and you can't always tell your first go.
This mural seems to describe a ritual involving blood.
Yeah.
That
Well,
dagger.
I did that out of order, apparently. The order with which you place certain items in the game world really changes how you perceive the story sometimes. And whether or not the character perceives the story in the order they're intended to, you know, it's incidental, but the viewer of the game is the important one there. Although, you know, for continuity,
So
you do want both to line
I
up.
have to put my hand inside?
Oh, yeah, we had to do that in Returnal as well. I think this came out before
Moby
Returnal.
Dick. Its pages are
Oh.
hollowed out, and its shape is...
But surely you can... Yeah, you know what that shape is. I thought she was leading up to not knowing what the shape was.
A camera. It must be Cassandra's.
That one they were snapping random selfies with.
Harry asleep in his tent. What a creepy photograph. Oh my, she sounds completely out of her mind.
Oh, so who is the crazy one now? I've seen the future, eternity awaits me, death awaits Harry. Are they both trying to do the ritual without the other one knowing? So we don't know... Oh, that's what it is. The suspense is we don't know if it'll be her or him that we find at the end. Right? I think that's what we're going... Oh, fish in a wheel.
Let's give it a try.
Fish in a wheel. Let's do it. Nom.
Ouch! Oh! Ah.
I timed that
What's
perfectly.
that? Looks
Fish
like
noms.
a tattoo, but it isn't. Those are my spots. They've moved.
It's like what a real fish would do. Nom. Okay, let's go look at the left wall. Oh, sorry, tripped on these ruins here. Fish in a wheel, better stick my hand in it. Well, she had info to say to do that. I would not put my hand in a fish mouth of that size and shape. Oh, is that too high up? Oh, it's foreshadowing that I'm going to come over there and find that, I guess. This really looks like paths in a wall-running exploration adventure game. Can you imagine Legacy of Kain set in a thing like this? Oh, the dream. Bring back Legacy of Kain, please. And not whatever that weird thing was before. I don't know what that was. It's awful.
A woman's earring
Oh.
stained with blood.
Legacy of
God,
Kain.
Harry, what did you do to her?
Maybe it's Harry's blood. Are we perceiving the story in the same sequence? I don't know.
Oh my goodness. And the gun barrel is empty. Trail of blood. Someone was hurt. There's a bullet hole in here.
Like, rock? Where's that? I can't tell what that is. It's like two textures sand faded into rock. And then there's also like some foam on another layer over it. Just an orgy of evidence over here. I don't want to miss any other stuff.
If he's behind that door, I wonder which Harry I'll find. How much would be left of the man I love?
Will it be Harry?
And how much of the man who has lost his sanity in this place?
Why was there a play button on the... Hang on, what? No, it's the... It plays the voice line that she said when you first pick it up, in case you didn't hear her. So it's a nice touch, actually, that they let you do that. Some games, you know, one shot. If you miss it, it's too late. I thought that's what you meant, but I was like, did you mean like a YouTube play button? There's like an arrow. Yet another gorgeous... Oh, so pretty. Is that the pattern we had to make out of the dots, vaguely?
The stars are aligned, forming a constellation that I don't recognize.
Yeah, that's
That
just
is
the...
not the same sky you can see from Earth.
That's the mishmash
If that's
constellation.
not the Earth's sky, where am I now?
Hell.
An eye and a star. Look at the stars, maybe.
Oh my god, we figured it out. Maybe. Girth. Planet Girth. It's a moon of planet lunch. Okay.
All these papers are riddled with incoherent doodles.
Oodles of doodles.
I wonder what this means.
Bridges? Dragons? Gargoyles? Animals.
Those stone statues seem to rotate with this switch.
Some sort of creature. A pet howl. 90-degree rotation. Okay. So you have to rotate the howl. This looks like some kind of grinding wheel here. It's like missing an axle or something through it. There's doors with constellations on.
I wonder what this means.
It means we gotta write it in our journal and collect all of them, and then eventually figure out a puzzle around it.
Constellations and stars. These people seem to worship otherworldly gods.
Every so often I keep getting these shots of like, wow, this looks like Borderlands. But like the good bits of Borderlands, not the, you know, it's just a desert parts. Which are fine too, but they're not like the most visually interesting. I didn't really think there'd be so much visual overlap, but it's like, it's not just visual overlap, it's thematic overlap as well. Yeah, the scale does help. Like, if you just put a Borderlands gun down at the bottom of the screen, I'd be nearly convinced. It is stylistically similar, yeah.
Shining constellation. I better draw it.
You better. Borderlands, all its themes of Eldritch Terror. There were, though. I mean, that's kind of why it was interesting at the beginning. I don't know where the hell we went with it at the end, but the vaults did have,
Where
like,
is this door leading me?
Eldritch demons in them. I don't know if you were saying that, like, ironically or sarcastically or what, but it does actually have that.
I carried these people here to test them. Like a challenge of some sort.
Would you like to play a game? The corporate horror is more front and center. Well, I'm mostly talking about the first one, and then it pivoted off that. The second one became more about corporations, I think. Although it was still present in the first one, too. Painter Skies, welcome back for your 78th month. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us for gaming. We have, I believe this is our last major puzzle to solve in the world of Call of the Sea, and then we will find if Harry met Sally.
It's a pentagon-shaped symbol with channels in its edges.
Oh, YouTube channels?
What was it used for?
Connecting to Captain Sparkles and his Minecraft HD channel. How do we make the goop flow? There's gonna be goop in here, I know it.
It's a pentagon-shaped symbol
Oh.
with channels in its edges.
You drawing it again? Spots in my hand have been rearranged to form some sort of symbols. Okay.
What was it used for?
I wish that the Eldritch Horror theme of the first Borderlands was actually, like, the main theme of the game, because I found that the most interesting part. Oh my god, what's happening? We're rolling the quarter into that gravity wheel. Okay. They lean forward like plates in the dish thing. The heck?
Circular stones with strange carved symbols.
They're strange, alright.
These icons on the wheel are the same as the constellations I have on my hand.
I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm just clicking stuff, but I'll circle back. Aaron, I managed to play through the whole thing solo, but, like, I kind of agree. It did wear out its welcome, and I finished it anyway. I don't quite know why. I'm a glutton for collecting things, I guess.
I wonder what this means.
I never completed the first Borderlands. As far as I know, you were just looking for a vault, right? Just becomes clear it's a monster at the end. Yeah, the end of the game, you open the vault, and there's a
Constellations
horrible
and
demon
stars.
inside.
These
And,
people seem to worship otherworldly
And you kill it,
gods.
and then loot. And then credits. I kind of don't remember how it related to the second one anymore. So why do the quarters on the right roll over? Oh, because there's probably this button, that's why. I thought this was in the middle, so I thought this only correlated with that one for some reason, and this one didn't have a button. Okay, so all of the quarters light up there. So I'm just going to keep pressing that and see if I win. This would be the lamest puzzle if it's just like, press this on every side. Well, that's the coolest looking symbol I think we can make out of it.
It's a pentagon-shaped symbol
No.
with channels in its edges. What
I think
was
we
it
have
used
to
for?
activate these blobs here, or maybe we have to light up the whole thing. One of them is wrong, though. Maybe all of them are wrong. Oh, I can only light up that one. Why? Do they block each other off, or I just never could... Hang on. These doors have something to do with it? To look up at the stars again? You've only got that on your hand. Okay.
I wonder what this means.
How do I absorb the other star powers? I want to become a Star Lord.
Constellations and stars. These people seem to worship otherworldly gods.
Well, gods are not otherworldly. You know, gods from Earth. Good American gods. You don't want any
Shining
communist
constellation.
gods.
I better draw it.
You have. Oh yeah, Gaia. Done. Ask a silly question, get an obvious answer.
Where is this door leading me?
Nowhere. Can I, like, drag these on... No, that's silly. Where's the rest of the puzzle?
An eye and a star. Look at the stars, maybe.
I look, but do I really see? Don't tell me they want me to walk back out to the fish and then swap my hand symbol to change... Is this actually what they want me to do? I have to get bit by the fish between each movement? Because if this is what they want me to do, then why did you put this over here? These are the consequences for guessing wrongs. Make it harder to brute force. Nope. Okay, I'm kind of relieved, because changing your hand sigil with the fish bite is asking a lot. So all that I have control over at the moment is which one of those 4 wheels has a light on or off. That's much more manageable as a trial and error test. But I don't really know what I'm trying to accomplish yet. So that gets 3 of the nodes. The big ones, anyway. But there's nothing else I can do to control it other than turn them on and off. Or do I want to avoid the noid? Make the thing on your hand with the lights.
It's a pentagon-shaped symbol with channels in its edges.
Okay.
What was it used for?
Am I winning? Apparently I'm winning. Oh, I'm making the shapes in the doors with the lights. Maybe this is how I get bit again?
They took them to a throne room. That was the final step in the ritual.
And then we ascend? Oh, that's really cool.
What an odd structure. Riddled with nooks and crannies and endless stairways.
It's important to work your legs while you ascend to the stars. Yeah, we're unlocking new sigils by
Maybe it
getting
only
bitten by
hurts the
fish.
first time.
No, it doesn't. It hurts every time. Numb.
Ah! The second also hurts.
I timed it worse this time. Oh, that just looks like a Zelda... Like a, you know, one of those torch things you light up with an arrow.
When I arrived on this island, I felt like I was trespassing. But now, I feel like this is where I belong.
You're home. Just in time for the holidays. Spend Christmas with your eldritch grandparents. I wonder if it's cold in here. There's so much stone you'd think it would be, but it's also like a tropical island, but it also seems to exist outside of time, so it's kind of a lot of questions. So I do have another symbol now. So we can try and make a slightly more or less complicated shape. We'll tack one of these on. Ah! Sorry. Just bashed my hand into the mic stand. This looks like it's going to get very complicated later. So like turn that one off. And then which end does it go to? It goes off the one. Is it this side? Nope. kind of bad at understanding how these are going to slot together. I think we want that first, and then we're going to add the other rune back to it in a second. Oh, we can do that. Okay, so they can overlap. They're all toggles. I thought it was you get one rune per wheel. But I don't know if it matters which side you draw it on, so long as it's there in the right orientation. That's still not right. Oh no, you do get one per wheel. Replace the other one. Fish people are probably not bothered by the cold. I guess that could be, yeah. Well, that goes in. How do I flip it the other way? Sorry, this feels very trial and error, because I don't really understand how these decide where they show up. I guess it's very simply off the central line post. I thought I was making... Oh, I think maybe my problem is I've been designing the wrong rune. I'm having trouble visualizing this too. Hey, Derp my herp, how's it going? Oh, we've almost got the one on the right. They're also not the same orientation, so that's also... Oh, wait a minute. The nodes have to be lit, so they do have to be the correct ones. I don't know how I just noticed that now. They have to be the right orientation or this doesn't work. Wow, that makes this much trickier, doesn't it? So I think we just need 2 of those together. But which side is right? We want... So there's a node and then a small node, and that corresponds with the bottom left corner of that. Isn't that all correct? No. This ends. Oh, bottom right's the door I already did. Okay, so do I want to make 2 C's then, actually? But I need to figure out what's the starting point for C's. That has the node in the top left corner, so that might be right. And then the one next to it? Yeah. I wasn't getting that the large nodes needed to correspond, so I was not looking at the orientation correctly. Whoa. That looks like Mona. When they get the, like, cosmic eyes. The cat from Persona 5, I mean. Yeah, there you go. Big Mona.
Harry seems to be on the brink of madness. But I don't feel the slightest hint of confusion. On the contrary,
Well, maybe they thought that too.
My mind is more focused than ever.
Alright, let's
Again?
get pinched by a fish.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's gonna happen once for each wheel, you know?
Ah.
Well, at least you get some cool tattoos out of the deal. Oh, it's well past time to unroll for me. Nearing 4 p.m. 2 p.m. is unroll time, but you're welcome to unroll as well. This is how people get addicted to tattoos. I just would have fallen in that pit. Nearly there. We've still got a bit of swimming ahead as well. These next ones look really complicated. Okay, so in the bottom set, the top left one looks like it's 2 C's and a Y bit. But it must not be, otherwise you'd have been able to solve it early. Can you die? No. No, it's not that kind of game. I have to figure out where to even begin with this. So, nodes... No, that's not right. Let's unselect. No die, only fish bite. It's true. Yeah, they're not filling up the room with water. It's not like that. Low stakes. Funny enough. This is activating a particular part of my spatial reasoning that I feel under-equipped to solve. So if I'm trying to do the one on the top left... okay, so they're in the orientation. Let's find where the top is. That'll help. There. No. The point goes away. So the top is... You start here. This is what I needed to do from the beginning to actually do this correctly. You start here looking down at it. So now we have the same image as we do in the book. Now, all of these sigil orientations should be lined up correctly, and I just need to input them. So from my left, I should probably put a C here. So that's, yeah, that's that. And then we want a Y with a stick, next one over from that. I'm wondering, is the last one... Oh, there's 5 options. Maybe there's 2 more. That's all hunky-dory. And then what, a C over here? Okay, well doing it that way really streamlines the whole process. It's almost like I should have done that from the first one. Oh, almost missed that. Oh, we can't see it because...
I can feel the agony of the slaves, their suffering, and the effects of their transformation. Black and white figures.
What's this? You've broken my code. Oh. Is this a pass the light through puzzle? Laser? I don't know where it originates. Oh, I think I understand. We need to...
Good doggies. Or
Oh.
dragons. Whatever you are.
I think we need to solve the other one, too. Where's my fish? Is the fish at the end? She was calling them dogs and dragons because, like, the thing was a bit vague. Okay, these are unrelated? No. I'm supposing these appear in the same orientation as the targets move. So that'll move that around. Yeah. So then I think I have to bridge a path using this to get to the other end. But I'm not really sure where I can move the other pieces around to. Okay, well I guess I can just kind of look at it and see. So this could go to the right. Having a confirmation to accept it is like another level. I'm going across to this, and then to that, and then over there. Puzzles nested in other puzzles. What a world. Oh, I don't think that's very helpful. How did I get that right on my first try, by the way? I just kind of, like, moved them and hit the button and it just worked. Well, it has to be that. Okay. And... What one is that? Oh, all the way out there. So that white path needs to be turned, and other than that, I think it's fine. So we just gotta move this back. Nope, not you! Oh good, we can do two at the same time. Gotta really be careful when you hit those buttons then. Unlike the previous puzzle, which I thought looked kind of easy, this one looks impossible. Well, what's made it extra difficult is just that they've nested the ability to move the white platforms within the slate platforms. But we'll get it. Just gonna take a second. And the only way you have the ability to know which one you're rotating, I guess, is based on... I don't know. Do these correspond? Maybe they do. Okay, we want that. Okay, and then that'll reverse that way. That gets us there. And we need the single one, which is this guy. Needs to go that way, and that should make a three-way platform. There we go. Now we just have to rotate that the other way, and should be good. Do I like physical puzzles? Yeah, a little bit. Not as much as game stuff, but I like physical stuff a little bit. Which is it this one? Yeah. I thought the farthest, like the way that this bracket wraps around it indicates whether it's like, you know, this is like an L and that one was like a one-way. They could have used them to indicate that. I've never gotten, like, super deep into physical puzzles, so to the extent that, like, I couldn't figure one out, but I know that those are quite popular, actually. Here we go. Fish bite.
Oh, come on. One more time.
No, a camera wouldn't be a huge deal. You just post it above looking down, usually. Like Mr. Puzzle does on YouTube. Yeah, they do. There's tons of variety in what kind of puzzles there are. It is silly that we seem to have a better awareness of where we are in the scope of this than she does, considering she's in it. You'd think she'd be able to pick up on the pattern of, you know, how many times we have to activate the wheel puzzles. It's like she's kind of on autopilot because we're controlling her. I always thought that would make for a funny moment in, like, a Zelda game where, you know, you solve 2 out of 3 of a puzzle and Link's like, oh, freaking again? I know that's been done in some games. Yeah, she relies on her smart journal too much. Okay, so this one... Okay, what do we need here? We need a slithery snake. Wait, no? Where's slithery snake? Is that the starter? I don't really see the... Oh, okay. The orientation for this is weird. Hi, Benelli. We're trying to do the top right one. Okay, so we need the N shape. I think needs to happen at the... I don't know which one. This one here, maybe? It'd be nice if you could just turn the rest of them off. Whatever you're on, turn off. Just want to start fresh. So that's the pinched bit there, but it's not in the right spot. That might be it. Yeah. So we've got the 2 big nodes lit up, and then we've got the elongated Y. Is that right? Yes. And then that means the only one left is something here, I guess. There we go.
All the doors are open, but where is the constellation I need to open the throne room?
Oh, that's gonna be after the last fish bite, lady. Don't you understand the pattern yet? Another cool room, though. And a bit more of this.
I can feel the torment of the thousands of slaves who perished here.
Can we... Oh, one's return, one's depart. Okay, so we can freely enter and exit the water in this zone. That's nothing. I feel like, already being able to turn into a mermaid to solve this puzzle sort of breaks continuity with the story they're telling. Unless this somehow changed between the last person doing it and me. Hey there, Ghost Star, how's it going? I think I'm right to say that, right? This wouldn't make sense that if the goal of you doing this puzzle is to turn into a mermaid person with eternal life, the fact that I'm already a mermaid person selectively... Oh. Yeah, that kind of, like, self-selects me, so I could be the one to solve it, which makes a catch-22.
Seriously?
Yeah, that wasn't a puzzle. Well, maybe they figured the last one was enough. Well, and then we've also got whatever is the last sigil here. Hey, thanks very much, Jay. To you as well. The entire night sky would make for a pretty sweet body tattoo. It would be a long process, though. Also, they'd have to tattoo you like an orb.
Another one of those gates. I have to get into
What?
the water again.
Oh, that was meant to trigger when I came through. And it's way too big to fit on your body. Well, you know, work your body to to fit the night sky. Just, you know, make a bigger body. Cool, so now we've got all the sigils, and we have to make this the final sigil. Is this also oriented in the correct way? I think so. Is part of it correct already? I don't know why I'm having such trouble visualizing this. It's not that hard. Work your body, work your body, work your body down to the ground. Any Luminez fans here? Does that do anything? Let's see, so we got... what shape even is that? It's like a C and a Y elongated? Delete Master, thanks very much for the 51 months. Welcome back. Happy holidays to you. The travel has gone fine, thank you. There's more travel to be done, but for the moment, I'm where I need to be. Thank you for returning and dropping your support. That is not what I needed, right? This bit's right. Oh wait, maybe that is what I needed. Then we've got one node at the end. Actually, I think that is right. And then this bit up here. See, as soon as I move my orientation, then it throws me all off. It needs to stay the same direction for my head to process it. So what do we still have left to do? So there's that squiggle that kind of goes... It's just like a straight line with one vertex bent. Is that actually the only other piece? Maybe that's the only other piece, and it goes like up here. Nope. Next one? Wait, I think we've engaged this one already. Not at all. Let's try... That's not helpful at all. Did I originate this in the wrong place? Y is the only one that does the corner piece, so that's a start. Okay, maybe that was a red herring then. Well, the two pieces that I already had put in, those have to be right, because they're the only ones that fit in that orientation. We don't need that line, though. No. But I need that to be rotated differently than it can be. That goes back that way. Oh, is this part of it, maybe? Maybe there's a couple overlapping ones, which is why it's confusing me. No, I don't think that's right. So let's see. We trace this bit here. So we got that goes around. That goes around. And we've got 1, 2, 3 up. So 1, 2, 3 up. Then it goes, hangs a right, which did. Let me get rid of that again. So that's all with 2 wheels engaged. We've got this much. So from the big node, it goes up diagonal right, and then diagonal right off of that, which is correct. So that leaves us with... No, don't rotate around. I'm just trying to point at things, but I can't because it's up in the sky. I don't know how to do that. How do I make that shape? Does it, like, end there? Maybe that's right. And then... No, they have to connect. I don't think that's it. Oh, apparently I got it. Great news.
The door to the sanctuary is open.
Hooray.
It's time to find out what's waiting for me inside.
That was slightly more enjoyable than a couple of the other ones. Oh, there's a gap. Hello? Oh, that's cool looking. I want to run my hand through that. It looks like mud. Stop whispering. I'm trying to look at the mud door.
What a disturbing mirror. Is it made of black ichor?
I really just want to walk into it, yeah.
It is speaking to me.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, heavens.
No more of those. Do not run your hand through the black ichor door. I might, though. Oh, am I behind the scenes? No. Oh!
My God.
Is that your god? Right there? The throne room.
Nothing that happens here appears to respect the most basic rules of physics.
I wouldn't say nothing. I mean, some of these blocks look like they're very much at
As
rest.
strange as it may be, it does maintain a peculiar harmony.
It is peculiar, yeah. I would think there'd be more floating upside-down staircases or something. For nothing
like the
to
workings
respect
of a
it.
clock.
No.
Or a music box.
Oh, we remember the music box. Why are these steps coming in so shifty like that? Oh, they're leaving as well. It's the Magneto room.
Harry, is that you?
What is this? Uh-oh. It's like a Doom slime, but with like a blending mode applied to it. Ah!
No, 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 no! Tell me this is you, Harry. It can't be you.
Mm.
It can't be.
Can't see. They're too far away.
No, no. Why did you do it? Oh my God, Harry, no! In the end, you performed the ritual. You poor fool. But why? I don't understand it. Why? You knew it. You knew it wasn't going to work. You knew the ritual wasn't going to work. That's why you never sat on the throne. You didn't even perform the ritual, did you, Harry? But you wanted me to think that you had. You even left a lure to confuse me. But why?
Harry bad? I got an achievement called Falgoffen. It's like Cthulhu language, but it's in all caps, so it just looked like it was yelling in Swedish at me or something. Okay, I don't fully understand the implications of what was being suggested there.
What really happened?
Oh, Space World.
The only person with you in that sanctuary.
I remember
cage
this
was
area in
Cassandra.
Diablo.
So if you didn't die, it had to be her. Did she use the dagger to open the gates and carry out the ritual? You tried to stop her, but it was too late. She shot you with your own gun and left you for dead, didn't she, Harry?
So colorful.
Because Cassandra was ambitious and would stop at nothing to uncover the secrets here. The island fueled that hunger for knowledge.
I mean this in only a positive, because I have such many positive associations with it, but this reminds me of the early days of N64 games like Turok having colored lighting, and they just put colored lighting all over everything and made it really neon looking. It's just making me think of that, like the floating pedestals and things.
What happened to Cassandra cleared up those doubts. The ritual wasn't for people like you.
People like him. Because he wanted to do the ritual out of care rather than selfishness? Is that the underlying theme
The
here?
ritual was only for people like me. But you refused to believe it until the island itself spoke directly to you. Pacha Falgafen.
There it is.
She is our daughter. That's when you finally understood. You understood what my fate would be if I didn't come here and carry out the ritual. A slow,
Oh.
painful death.
So he was trying to help you in a way in the only way that he could once he knew what he knew, I guess. Helping is just a very subjective sort of situation considering the circumstances.
So you faked your own demise and left your glasses near Cassandra's corpse. The same glasses you never take off.
Wait, what? He didn't die?
And you sent me the package from Tahiti, Harry. Your picture, the key, the dagger. Another one of your scavenger hunts.
I feel like this is clever, but I'm just too stupid to understand it. I know I'm not stupid, but, like, it's going over my head today for some reason. I didn't follow the beats well enough that this is landing right now.
You made me come to this island, the same island where you almost lost your mind and your life, the same island where 4 members of your expedition perished. Why did you deceive me, Harry?
Okay, he deceived her.
You would never lie to me. Why didn't you tell me the truth?
I thought he was
Why
still
did you do
helping
this
her
to
in a
me?
weird way. I thought it was like he realized she couldn't do anything but transform, so he was doing the one thing that would help her transform and not be miserable, even if it cost him his life. Which would have meant he didn't deceive her, he just did a weird thing to get to where she needed to go. But evidently that wasn't what happened.
Because you knew that I would never accept my fate if it meant leaving you. Right, my love?
Oh, I was still right, it just had another level of twist behind it.
Because the only way to get me to leave you was to make me believe you were dead. And you chose to live a life without me, so I could be who I really am. That's why you tried to deceive me.
I think I just explained what they're explaining now, I just did it in a slightly different way.
We've had so many years together, so many moments of love, happiness, understanding, friendship. A whole beautiful life with you. I know what you tried to do, but I can't let you make this decision for me, Harry. Either I embrace my fate and accept what I've always been, or leave you behind.
It's a fable.
Or I reject it and return home with you to relish the time that my illness gives us. It's my decision to make.
Doesn't seem like the type of game that would give you a decision here, but I mean, cool. So it's like... Are you deceiving him in either direction? Not yes or no to both. You're not allowing the thing that he put into motion to conclude the way he expected it to, so you're sort of deceiving him there, but you're also not. They're both yes and no at the same time. I don't know. I feel like that's the right answer. Do you want the knowledge of the cosmos, or to, like, be happy? Be loyal to the person who is loyal to you, I think. As long as I understand the story. Well, he went through a hell of a lot to try and figure this out, and I think that's worth rewarding in kind, you know, being that loyal person to them.
You were right about one thing, Harry. I would never accept my fate if it meant leaving you. I know who I really am and where I belong. I know fate has eternal life in store for me, but an eternal life without you is worthless, meaningless. So, I choose the slow and painful death. I'm going back home.
But it's also kind of cruel, because then you're putting the fate onto him that he's gonna uncontrollably watch your slow and painful death, which is also cruel, but also, freaking life, man. We don't know what we signed up for when we did this whole life thing. There's a lot of confusion, scary planning, and
You staged
worrying.
this ruse because you love me.
I want to think about the
But
size
true
and shape of
love
the
is
fish.
reciprocal. So I'm also making this decision because I love you.
Ooh, a nice flower
I've
arrangement.
seen and heard everything this island has to offer. Our love is greater than fate, lineage, or all
It's a hell of
the pain I
a
can suffer.
statement, isn't it? I love you more than the eternal cosmos. I gave up all of that.
Whatever time we have left, we'll spend together.
A cosmic
When the time
romance.
comes,
It's very beautiful.
it will be your hand that holds mine.
Oh,
And those beautiful blue eyes will be the last thing I see before I leave.
that's very sad.
So, you didn't find your husband on that island, Mrs. Everhart.
I did find my husband. He wasn't on the island, though.
But what have you been doing these 3 days?
Yeah, what have I been
Did you
doing?
find him?
I don't know. The truth about myself, I suppose. And at the same time, the reason to go back home.
I don't think I follow.
Yeah, cut to real
Have
life
you
and
ever
she
been
just
in love,
like
Captain
touched a
Wilson?
tree and
Love? You mean like in a romance novel?
No, that's fiction.
some kind of psychoactive reaction if she was just kind of like seizing on the
True love
beach for 3
stories
days.
don't end with a wedding. They end with a funeral. And the only thing that eases that final moment of heartbreaking sadness are all the good memories lived together.
That was gonna make me
Honestly,
tear up.
I don't think I've ever felt anything like that, Mrs. Everhart. But if you love your husband that much, he's certainly a lucky man.
We are both lucky.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
1, 2. Don't forget the harmony. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's nice.
All my
This is,
life is empty
I'm sure it'll be very
since I've
touching, but yeah, I guess I need to probably clip that because DMCA issues. That sucks. Well, I can listen to it. You can't, unfortunately. I don't know, would you have chosen differently there? I think I tend to choose the hopeless romantic option most of the time. It all felt like a freaking hallucination, so I just go with the thing that makes sense. You're still hearing a song? Oh, it's probably leaking through the mic, actually. Yeah, I think it's probably coming through. I have to lower the volume more. Sorry about that. That should be better. Very pretty song, though. Wait, you can still hear it? I'm like tabbing in and out, so it's probably cutting out a lot. Anyway, whatever. When you click, it goes away. I'll just leave it like that. Yeah, to take the other ending just felt like such a betrayal, even though it was literally what he wanted. But it's not like we get to see the context beyond their song together. As nice a song as it was. It seems like they cared a lot for each other, so they should probably have whatever their remaining time is. So my whole thought process about this game was that it was really pretty. I really enjoyed the visuals, and the island design level areas were really well done, and production value was quite nice. Kind of take it or leave it on a lot of the puzzles. I wasn't super enticed by some of them, and they felt like they were both more and less complicated than they needed to be at the same time. They were maybe just a bit too obfuscated as to what they were trying to do. Oh, there's more. Hang on.
No, listen, let's leave it.
Oh. Is she gonna outlive him?
Really, darling, I'm fine.
Oh no, it's her coughing.
You need to rest, Nora. Come on, I'll take you to bed.
Oh, they had to show that part. I turned it back up a bit.
Even today, so many years later, I still doubt whether I did the right thing. In the end, it didn't matter. You returned home and forgave my deception. We moved close to the sea and had a few more good years, didn't we? Until you left me at one sunny March morning. I wish I could be reunited with you. But fate has punished me with a long and sorrowful life, with no other incentive than my work. Because that is the only thing I have now, my dear old pal.
Man, they really tug on the heartstrings, don't they? Sorry. Trying to just burst out into tears. That was so sad. That kind of stuff always gets me. I didn't think it could come back from such a, like, heavy cosmic energy kind of thing to suddenly being human again. I thought we were kind of beyond the pale at that point. But they seem to have found a way to do it. But I'm also very susceptible to emotional things like that, so... Oh boy, Call of the Sea, that was a fun ride. As I was saying, generally pretty quality game. Just a little bit confused about some of the nature about the puzzles being a little bit convoluted. It's not that they were actually convoluted, it was just I was being a bit dense, and also they required a bit more fiddliness than I think I like. But yeah, if I would recommend this to people, I'd just say, like, keep in mind it's a bit of a slow burn when it comes to the puzzles. And the story might not be the most straightforward, but thankfully they do give you kind of like a rundown of what happened at the end, so you don't feel like you're too far out. I could see some people bouncing on the game just from like one particular puzzle that hit them wrong. But for those that have played it, like, yeah, hopefully you get what I mean. It's not like I'm trying to put down the game at all. I think it was good. It's just, it's gonna be hit or miss for some people, I think. And depending on how much you like the atmosphere, or you like the visuals, or you're interested by the character dynamics, that kind of stuff will probably push you through those moments. But not everybody's going to do that. And some will just go, well, mechanically, I'm not enjoying what I'm doing at the moment, so maybe try something else. I guess that's fine, too. You get what you want out of it. But I enjoyed my time. It was fun. So thank you again to the devs for sending me a code for this. It is on sale at the moment for $11.99 on Steam if you want to pick it up. For the holidays, and normally $20. So that was Call of the Sea. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching, folks. I'm gonna head out now that we're done with the game, and have a lovely Christmas, everybody.